me open by first and foremost complimenting Fresno and Rodney's team, because I thought they played harder than us. The two stats that jump out at you when you feel like a team played harder than your own: they 7th in the country in steals. They took balls away from us, 14 turnovers, key times in the game. And then offensive rebounding, guys going after the ball, tip after tip. And so those two stats sort of remain and sort of a constant in me saying we got whipped, and they played harder than us. And coaches would never be nervous. There's no coach I've ever met in 40 years that would be nervous if they knew before the game their team was going to play harder than the other team. And we did not tonight. Now, I will say this, it was like a lot of our games. And we had a 2-point lead or tie score, 4 minutes to go. And we finished about 8 games this year making our last 8 or 9 free throws. Our fans like that, our players like that, our staff like that. And we won a lot of close games. And I look at this stat and it jumps out at me: second half free throws, 8 for 13. And we didn't finish the game at the foul line, or we probably win by 3 or 4. Taking nothing away from Fresno, I told every kid on their team they deserve this, clearly. But did I feel like we were in yet another cowboy game in 2015? Absolutely. This was the same game we've played against Nevada, San Jose, New Mexico. You know, the list goes down. The game was no different. And with 3 minutes to go, if I'm not mistaken, we still, whenever Josh made that dunk, I'm going to say it was about 4 minutes ago, we have a 2 or 3 point lead. Marvell comes back and knocks one in. That's how our games have been all year. We rejoiced when we knocked in those last 8 free throws and won by 4. We got to live with this one, and it's a tough one.
It's surprising. You mentioned how well Fresno played, but you guys are usually pretty tough like that. Was that a little surprising? With the time off and hopefully recharging the batteries a little bit. Was that surprising to you?
It was disappointing. I don't know if I'd say surprising, because I said the body of the game was like every game we played this year. I mean, who have we run away from? But the body of the game for those 36 minutes was much like every game, including the first Fresno game, a war. It was those last 3 or 4 minutes that was disappointing, because we didn't clean up the game. We didn't win the game like we've won so many games this year. We missed free throws and we turned the ball over toward the tail end of the game.
You notice, you probably have to look at the film, Larry, but you mentioned Fresno is one of the better teams in the nation stealing the ball. Was a lot of it their ability, or was there some sloppy play, from at least what you could gather?
Yeah, I was disappointed with our pass selection. Like, we selected to pass the ball sometimes, but the pass we made was really, really a difficult catch. So it looked like, ooh, that's a good pass, but it's like a receiver in football. Like, if you throw it too hard or you throw it down by his knees, it might have been the right play, but it was an uncatchable ball. We had about 7 or 8 of those. And you can't tag our unselfishness. We were very unselfish on those plays. Nonetheless, we didn't put the ball where it needed to be. And so, you compliment Fresno as much as you can. That's my DNA. But I got to tell you, a lot of it was our undoing ourselves.
Coach, you obviously knew how capable Marvell Harris was, and how tough was he to stop, just getting into the lane, making some shots today for them?
Well, he started right off the bat, knocked in the opening shot. And, it seemed like he never slowed down. They used a pick-and-roll game with their 5-man and him. And I thought we did a reasonably good job until he launched that long one, end of clock. And that one hurt a little bit. But he's a really good player. He's an all-league player. And that's what makes Fresno and Boise so difficult to guard. They both have 4 guys at any time that can go for over 20. So it's not like you can shorten the court. They have 4 very, very good players off the dribble. I mean, one of the odd statistics, but it's representative of Fresno's talent. They won the game, had 64 points. They only made 6 assists. They go get them by themselves. They have guys that can go get them by themselves. And compliments to them.
It seemed like they put Marvell in a pick and roll and then kind of chased him down the lane in the second half. What were they I mean, was that a tough adjustment, trying to get you guys to help and then have that second guy fall in for the offensive board?
Yeah, that's our pick and roll defense. We corral pick and rolls. We've done that all year. We did that the first half. We did it the second half. I thought Marvell made some nice plays and got fouls called, I think 2 in a row in the last 3 minutes. And I'm not sure if we went for a block shot or we bodied him, but like I said, he's a good player. And so I don't think it was anything statistically or analytically that we could have figured out. I mean, the game was easy to figure out the last 3.5 minutes. It's just another Cowboy game that you guys have enjoyed dearly when we won by 4. But you know what? We didn't make those free throws. We did have a turnover. They did make their free throws, and they win. And that's, like I said, it's a hard pill, but it's pretty easy to analyze. Just disappointing to be part of.
What did you think of Nats being back? Did you think you played him, I think, 37 minutes? What were your thoughts of?
Yeah, I checked with Turbo. I just wanted to know what he thought, you know. And, you know, he looked like Larry. It was good to see him back. And it just, you know, they did a good job defending Larry.
What did you think of Josh? It seemed like, just as in previous games, he was very aggressive in the second half. What did you think of his performance tonight?
I thought he put it all out on the court. You know, he got a little emotional, as did a couple of their players. But, you know, that's conference play. That's February. I thought both of them handled it well after the play. You know, I took him out for a moment just to calm him down, but I popped him right back in there because I thought he was playing hard and I thought he was playing well.